Welcome back to the Tiger Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for October 29th, 2023. I hope everybody is enjoying this weekend before Halloween. Hopefully everything's going well. But today I'm going to talk to you about some stuff that's going on. We did have the 10/27 event for Hasbro. Hasbro also had a presentation in London. We're going to talk about that. Ramen Toy's got another project they're working on. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on that one. Pretty exciting stuff and very necessary. Very needed. Then there was some Marvel Legends stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to talk a little bit about everything this and the Ghostbusters. There's a whole lot of other things to discuss. And then G.I. Joe, again, stole the show in my opinion. Even though there wasn't a lot, it still seemed to be the most exciting thing going on with all of the Hasbro stuff that's going on this week. And then there's some Star Wars stuff, which I didn't find really that exciting. Other people seem to for some reason. But we're going to talk about this and more coming up. Starting off what's new at Show Z, there's some really cool stuff. There's this Fantasy Jewel Armored Fleet Die Rugger. This is the set of 15. This is basically a KO of the SOC for $176, so right around the half price point. I believe the original one was $350, so it's about half price. I am tempted to pick it up. The one thing about this is that the vehicle Voltron gets very little love. This is the also a Joy Toy Source 1/18 Dark Source Horse. This is the white version. They also have a black version. They look cool. This is $30 for a horse that has a lot of articulation. One of the downsides to articulation, kind of gets back to that Super 7 situation, is that you see a lot of lines when there's a lot of articulation. But it's pretty cool. It's one of the better looking horses that's out there, especially for the 1/18 scale. And seeing as how like maybe this will work for your Indiana Jones also, probably. This could probably also work for some other toy lines, maybe a Zorro or something along those lines. They also have, I think, 5 different versions of this up right now to pre-order. And I did just review this New Age Swoop and Freyer, whatever they want to call that. It's a great figure. I love it. But I'm also considering getting it in clear, to be clear. And the original one was $56. I assume they're around the $56 price point. And then they also have the Trans Art Beast Wars Megatron up in stock right now. I thought they sold out, so I went ahead and grabbed me one. So I've got one on the way. $115. It is the BWM06. And remember, TH Reviewer Code if you want to help out the channel. I think we're going to start out this week with something fun, the Cyan Culture. This is their Metroplex they're making. It's actually 18-inch tall. It's not Masterpiece, and it's more of Legends scale. Truly, it's still not really Legends scale, but, you know, we can argue all that one. It's still cool, 18 inches, big figure. Should be about $125 is what I'm hearing the price is. Still don't know the actual price on it yet, but here are parts. Here's more of the parts for making this, of the arms, I believe. And just kind of fun to see these types of pictures and the excitement about a new product coming out. This is really the first third-party G1, very G1-esque version of a Metroplex, in my opinion. And for the size, I wished it would have been bigger. Maybe there's a chance that it'll get upscaled by someone else. It does have some LEDs. It does have some cool stuff going on with it. I do look forward to getting my hands on this and taking a look at this figure. And it is one of the more exciting figures coming up. We do have more pictures of this MS02 TC Light of Peace. I've actually seen reviews for it, and I don't think that the red is any more shinier than the red on the one that I have, the metallic version. But the metallic version I have is pretty cool. This looks pretty cool. This is a toy version, and I just think they're just giving you more opportunity to buy this again, and they're going to keep doing runs of it. But I'm not sure how many more runs they're going to make that are going to still look sort of a G1-ish. I think they're going to start getting into more wild offshoot recolors. But anyway, another opportunity to get your hands on this guy. And I will say that I was a skeptic of it. I did not think it was the greatest version until I got my hands on it. I think it is the best, the most G1 cartoon accurate that's out there, even though the MP44 is still pretty impressive. But this one just, it has a different feel about it. It's a little bit stockier, and I do kind of like that. All right, let's take it easy with a little bit of Toy Easy YW2312 Dorgus. And so this is another one of the Toy Easy figures, it turns into something we're about to see that's pretty impressive. But it's I believe it's a big figure. I don't know a lot about these. Still, there's just pictures, this Weibo pictures that we are able to share. That looks pretty cool right there. It turns into this thing, which I'm sure people know exactly what this is called, but it just looks like an old war machine. But pretty cool, interesting stuff, and actually using it to turn into something sort of a historical kind of thing like this would be pretty fun. And we got MMC coming out with some more of their pictures. It just seems like we got similar pictures to this just recently at that TFCon, but as you can see, they're not done with everything, but this is showing you how you can sort of scramble City a little bit, and this is just kind of what to expect theirs to look like. Looks pretty good. We've seen a similar picture to this in the past, but there's just more of it, and then more angles. They wanted to give us a few more angles of this picture, and it looks good. I think that it's not a bad looking option at all, and I'm also thinking that this one will be done before any other options of the modern area. There's some older versions that were done in the 15-inch scale and 14-inch scale. This is 18-inch scale, so it's a little bit bigger, not quite the 21-inch, but it looks great. So last week I specifically didn't talk about this little Bee, Bumblebee, female version of Bumblebee, because I think we've already seen her. More or less we already saw renders, but these are actual product shots, and she looks good for what she is. It's interesting. It's one of those things that is sort of, I guess, a reimagination of a character, and that does look pretty cool. And I know that for the longest time we just didn't give any fembots, and now we're getting more than we probably can handle at once. But I want to show that you can take all the kibble off if you choose to take all the kibble off. Now that's one of the things that I think is really awesome when you make a fembot, that you can have a female bot like this that doesn't have a whole bunch of crazy kibble on it and can look good. And that's kind of where we were with the RC situation. RC just having, what do you do with all that kibble? And with that works awesome. I think it looks great. And I think they've got sort of a different angle here, so you can kind of see what's going on in the rear, what's going on back there, and yeah, that's what's going on back there. I do kind of like also the colors, the teal that's used in this. It's interesting. Sadly, I'm not going to be in on this one so much. It's just not my type of figure to go for, but I know a lot of people are excited for it. There's not a whole lot of news in the Masterpiece realm, but I'm not sure why the MMC pictures of their ram horn are starting to make the rounds. Is this one next? I'm thinking that's kind of what people are saying, but I'm not sure. I really don't. But I am looking forward to all of their other cassettes that they have coming and on the way, and it's been a whole lot of fun taking a look at all of these. Now there's less stuff this week for Legends than there is for Masterpiece. Light week, that's fine. We kind of could use a break from just a ton of stuff getting announced all the time. But this is Hasbro, so I'm going to go with the Hasbro Legends scale. They call it Core Class, of course. But finishing up their combiner team, and I think you can get all this stuff at retail now and finish it. I'm not so much into it. My son is, so as we see when he doesn't have, we just pick it up and go from there, and he's having fun with it. So at least he is having fun with it. I prefer the Studio Series and the ones that they're making at Leader Class. Pretty exciting, and I'll talk a little more about that here in a bit. A little bit more about what we didn't see here in a bit. All right, I guess I'll talk about it right now because we're going to get into talking about Hasbro's presentation. One thing I didn't see that I expected to see and I wanted to see was Swoop. Swoop's my favorite Dinobot. This is a picture from Miggy Prime. I figured it was a nice transition picture. Excellent picture that was put together right here. But we're not seeing a Swoop here, and we're not seeing one anywhere in all of this presentation, all this big hyped up stuff for the 27th and what happened in London. And that's the figure I was looking forward to the most. So when are they going to announce that one? We know it's coming, though. Alright, so what did they talk about? Core Class Bumblebee Rumble concept. This is a Bumblebee version of Rumble concept picture. So it's interesting, it's cool. I wish I had better pictures also. This is like snapshots of theirs. They didn't release all of these officially just yet, I guess. These are pictures of the projector, so they're going to be kind of lame. Low quality, low res. This is Core Class last night. Mohawk and turns into a motorcycle. We've seen this one before. This is a lot of this we've already seen before. So we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it, but you can see both versions, both modes, and the packaging. This is the Deluxe Class Rise of the Beast Wheeljack, and if you're interested in that thing, this is what it's going to look like. This is the packaging and all that. It's still interesting, too, with this Wheeljack. You're going to pretty much see almost all of the figure. I'm hoping at this point, we see plastic back in it, because we do that with the G.I. Joes. I'm going to show all that. Here we are with the Deluxe Class Rise of the Beast Scorponok. I think it looks alright. It's the movie Scorponok, so it's not quite the same as like a Beast Wars Scorponok or that kind of stuff. This one here is, out of what they showed, I was most excited for this one out of all the ones they showed, and that's the Scrap Heap. It is a redesign, a slight redesign, remold of the Wreck-Gar, and I want to just keep that coming. Just bring more of those on, and I know, what's a perfect number of these? Like 4? No, that's not enough. 6. We need 6 of these. 6 different versions. And this will be like the either third or fourth one that they'll be putting out by the time this one comes out, and I just don't see any reason for them to stop. Such an easy repaint or slight remold to just keep these coming, and I'm excited for it. I'm definitely picking it up. And this one here is the Voyager class War for Cybertron Starscream Studio Series, and it's alright. It looks okay. I'm not going to be in on this one, but I think it does look pretty good. I think there's another better picture somewhere. Not sure if I'll get it and put it in here. Then we have the Leader class Bumblebee Megatron concept, and I believe this one's the triple changer. I didn't watch the whole deal, the whole hour and a half of what they had going on there. No, this is a whole different event, so I didn't catch this. But still, looking at this, looks pretty interesting. Here is, I hope I'm right. I hope this is the jet mode it turns into, and then it turns into a tank. I think I'm right, because they kept saying Megatron's a triple changer in the information. And then there would be the tank. So there it is. Yeah, it works, I guess. A triple changer Megatron. They've done this before back in Titan Return, so there's no surprise there. They had some other stuff to show. I'm not really sure who this guy is or what's going on with him. I'm sure that someone else does, but it's nothing that really gets me excited, mostly because I don't know it. I know it might have something to do with that Beast Wars Neo kind of stuff they got going on. Here we go with an Optimus Prime. Is this the animated Prime, I think? But we're starting to get outside of the G1, and I'm curious how well this does. I really am, because there are people super excited about this, and there are a lot of people saying they pre-ordered this. So I hope it does well. If those people really are excited about it and want it, then support it. Here we go with just some more stuff on the display. We're going to get into this big figure here in just a minute. All right, so we did get into these two. We have already seen this Code Red figure. I think that's what they call that one. And this one is that Stranger Things collaboration, and it is going to come with a pizza box, some other stuff, but that's pretty much this. Turns into a van. We've seen that like 6 months ago, I think, something along those lines. But the new thing is this, and I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right, but it's like Magmatron or something along those lines. It is pretty cool that it's 3 different dinosaurs that combine into making that one big beast. And I believe they said it was Beast Wars Neo. I don't know anything really about it, so I'm definitely not in on it. And for it to be the Commander class price point, it's not something that I'm going to get into. But then again, I do want to say that Beast Wars Neo is something I just never see available at retail. And so to have something like this, don't know if this will be available at retail either, but I know you could get it on Hasbro Pulse. I didn't, but it's quite expensive, quite pricey, but it is cool looking overall. We did see this picture of Grimlock. So this is unrelated to what Hasbro was revealing. It's all different. This is the red Grimlock. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking they could have done better, in my opinion, than this. I'm not sure what everyone else is going to think about it, but I don't think red was bad. I feel like they should have been bigger than they were, and I feel like this is a pretty good size Grimlock. I like that. But aesthetically, I just don't think this one hits the mark. I think the other ones are close to hitting the mark. And then here we go with this one is the Powder Prime version. And this is the one that had the larger Grimlock and then the smaller deluxe scale, everything else's. And then it combined to the Volcanicus and all that. But this is how big he is. So he is bigger than even that last one that was a Voyager scale. So that's a pretty good size. Will be the biggest red figure. I'm not sure what the price point will be on it. And I'm looking at the date of this when I saw this picture, and then I'm not sure if I talked about it last week, but there's no way I could have. Numerically, I just couldn't have done it. So I'm going to talk about this. $60 for an ARC at Ollie's. So if you see an ARC at Ollie's that you want one, $60. This, I'm starting to have those feels again, like we did when Metroplex was $55. This is 60, and then I'm starting to wonder, will we see the Nemesis? Is that what that was? Is it Nemesis? Will we see the other one come out for 60 next year? I mean, I've held out on that one, looking for a sale, and I have a feeling that the other one's going to be at Ollie's or Ross. This is Ross. So pretty exciting that you can get these for that price point. And although we're not to the G.I. Joe news yet, I definitely have to say something about this. $15 for the 3-pack of Vipers that were impossible to find, and then they come up with the 3-pack, and it didn't do very well, and it was on sale for $50 on Amazon. Now, Ross has them, $15. Well, my Ross doesn't have them. Some Rosses in the land of plenty have them, but I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a couple of these. Also, here's the thing. So many people still will go to Ross every day and not find one. But I think that the flooding of Rosses with these and scalpers buying them and doubling their money, well, doubling your money is $30. I don't think it's a bad set for $30. So if you could snag one that somebody's doubled their money on $30, so I might go that route. So here's a picture of artwork that was going to be used for Transformers Devastation. They didn't use it, but I'm going to use this as a quick segue for something else that's happened this past week. Reportedly, we're going to see physical games removed from Walmart in 2024, specifically for the Xbox platform, but they want to get away from all physical games in general. And that, to me, is kind of scary in a way. It's concerning for a lot of reasons, but it says it's because they've seen a rise in digital content. Well, yeah, okay, I see that. But if we see a massive decrease in physical games, then they're going to start making less and less systems that actually play physical games. And I will never download a game and pay $70 or $80 for digital air download. I'm not doing that ever. So it might just be the end of me in gaming forever. I guess I don't really care, because I don't care enough to just buy a digital license for a short period of time, because if something changes or alters in that game down the road, they can pull it from their market, and if you don't have it downloaded on your system and you want to re-download it, you can't. There's a lot of issues with digital that I can't overcome, and I refuse to just wastefully spend money on that, but I think a lot of people in my generation feel the same way. So we're going to transition to non-Transformer news here, and this is Ramen Toy, and they are making what they call a CAG, C-A-G. It is Canopy and Guns for the McFarlane Batmobile. I think this is an outstanding idea. The first time I saw that, I looked at the canopy and thought the canopy looked weird on the McFarlane one, and then I didn't really think about the guns aspect of it, but now these just kind of clip on top, and that's how they look. And they're still in the prototyping phases. This is like a really, really early prototype of what they've got going on, but you can kind of see this. And it would be kind of fun to see like a side-by-side of old versus new, but I could tell by looking at this that this does look way better as a canopy. And they are going to work on to eliminate the gap there. I mean, obviously they have a lot to work on, but this is the early part. I think this is definitely necessary. Massive upgrade kit. Price-wise, I asked price. I was told targeting $20, and I'm kind of hoping and getting that hope and feel that if you order something else and then you order this at the same time, that you get shipped together. I'm hoping for that. I didn't get that detail, but a lot more detailed information to come on this. And this, to me, is the best 89 Batmobile that's been made for a reasonable price. I mean, Hot Toys is the best. It's like $1,000. This thing for $60 was a great value. They're also showing off the packaging, or part of the packaging, the styrofoam that they're going to be using for their ramen racers. And let me just reiterate here, this is their top product. This will be their highest selling product when it comes out, because there's just that much demand for it. I'm surprised there's that much demand for it, but this is what happens when you meet the demand of the consumer and you give the consumer what they want. They buy it and they get excited for it. It looks fantastic. Okay, there's a lot of G.I. Joe stuff to talk about this week, and I'm just going to dive right into it. First of all, I want to say that I was shocked to see Super 7 Ultimates hanging in a Walmart, and a little confused too, because they had to take it out of the packaging, the outer packaging, and then the sleeve to hang it up like this, or it wouldn't sell. Nobody'd buy it in a brown box special. But it hung there for like 4 days, and then they all sold. They're all gone. I was a little surprised, but not really, because the average consumer walking through Walmart has no idea that this thing exists. And to see it and go, oh my gosh, this looks amazing, I'm going to buy it. So this is a perfect idea to put one of each figure in a Walmart and just see how it does. That's 5,000 Walmarts, 5,000 figures that they could sell. That's a lot. And although I'm going to do a lot of praising of Hasbro, I'm going to start off with this. Hasbro and Mattel shares plunge as toy makers forecast a lackluster holiday season. Lackluster holiday season because what's between now and the end of the year, there's not much coming out that's really that desirable and people are excited for it. Yes, there's a few things, but it's not like we've seen in the past. And the HasLabs aren't going through the roof like we've seen. But with that, some of the things that you're going to see in the rest of this news, like plastic getting put back in the packaging, this is in response to the fact that they're not giving the consumer what they want, so the consumer doesn't buy it. Plus, we're in 7 quarters of down. I don't care how they cook the books. I can prove we're in 7 quarters down. 8 quarters makes a depression. So anyhow, we're in rough economic times. They're admitting it. Stock market's admitting it. And what that means is lower production on a lot of this stuff going forward, but still some opportunities for clearance. Okay, so the Vamp with Clutch, this is really the most exciting thing of all of them. But it's kind of hard to say what's the most exciting. The Vamp's not even my favorite vehicle, but it looks fantastic. They did a great job with this. And with that, if you continue to do stuff like giving consumers what they want, then you're going to do well. Here is the packaging. You're going to see that with the packaging, you actually can see the figure in a window in plastic. And then there's the rest of the box. It looks good. It's what we need. It's how it should have been done all along. And I like that. I like how they did this. I like the way it looks. And then here's the full offering. This is everything it's going to come with. $100. Now, I was guessing 80 or hoping for 80. And here's why. At 80, then I would have bought 3. Well, I only pre-ordered 2. Because at $100, I mean, that's $200 versus 3 would have been $240. I would have stretched the extra 40. They would have gotten $40 more out of me. And there's a lot of other people in my situation. But a lot of hardcore Joe collectors aren't like me. They're like, I was going to get 10, but now I'm going to get 6. Or something along those lines. So they have limited their sales by their price point. But 100 is a good price. 80 would have been better. But 100 is a good price. It's not horrible. A lot of people were thinking, oh, it's going to be a $300 HasLab. And there's no way this could have been a $300 HasLab. Unless they put like 6 figures with it. But anyway, I'm excited for the offering. And I do have 2 pre-ordered. Okay, so they also showcased this week Iron Grenadier and Mutton Junkyard. This is the packaging. They had like name reveals in the past. And then we saw some renders. Now we get the packaging shots. And they look good. I think these are the $44 price point. $44 price point. Because they are deluxe. I think they look great. And again, we get the plastic back and getting to see your figures again. And Mitten package collectors are just excited as heck. And a lot of people are hoping that the dark times of the cardboard only will come back. But the way production has worked in the past, unless they put it out as a different type of figure, like retro or something along those lines, then you get the exact same old packaging when they do another run. That's just the way it seems to work. So we have a dark time that's going to stay a dark time for a long time with cardboard only, but it's a bright future. They also pulled a name-only reveal on Raptor and Iron Grenadiers. And Iron Grenadiers. This is just a name-only reveal. We don't see product or even renders or anything like that. But just kind of having the idea of what direction they're going. They're not just going linear from 82 and just following that line, which I would have been fine with. But they're not. They're all over the place. Which the reason that they're doing that, I believe, is so you can pull people in that were in different years, that started collecting in different years, or they're associated with 86 or 88 or 82. All those different people are getting pulled into the line and part of it as it goes, which is actually a smart marketing tactic. All right, they did a His Tank unboxing, and the cool thing that we got to see, and I should have done my own screenshot, snapped it out of the film. When he opened the box, there's a separate brown box that houses the 4 figures in there, and it looked really good. But this shot shows the Cobra Commander, which in my opinion is the most anticipated figure out of all these, but all the figures are exciting anyway. But really cool. I really am looking forward to this. It is going to be hard to open one of these. I'll probably just leave mine sealed on the card and wait for whenever they inevitably put out one for the main line that's in this style. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my Super 7 one. But this is kind of exciting. I actually kind of find the figures to be more exciting than the actual His Tank itself. Am I wrong? And lastly, Ollie's is on fire with these deals. Now, $13 for Sergeant Slaughter is a great price. Nowhere near as good as, say, the Crimson Guards for $5, Zorana and Dusty for $5. And with all of that, it's still exciting. So hope is out there if you want to get these for cheap. I saw all of these. I thought, oh, these will be here for weeks. And they were gone in just a few days. Just cases of them. I think I had like 6 or 9 cases of them. And they were gone in just days. So really getting wiped out. Ollies are just getting wiped out. And I'm seeing pictures of people showing their Ollies just stacked with them. But I'm sure it doesn't last for long. All right, so we did see the funding of Giant Man. He unlocked one tier. I think they did like 14,000 or something along those lines. For a $200 price point figure that people act like is a very important one. I'm just not into Marvel that deep, so I don't know. But I'm surprised it didn't do more than this. 14,000. Again, we have the economy. Economy's rough times. But $200 figure, and it didn't have unlock tiers that had smaller figures with it. It's a bare bones offering for the most part. It only got one of the faces unlocked. There was another face that didn't get unlocked. But I'm happy for those fans who got this, that really wanted it. So now we're on to the next HasLab. I mean, we finished one HasLab and they've got the other one already ready to go. It's Ghostbusters, and you're getting PKE meter and a ghost trap, and it's $300. Now, I'm not in on this. I'll be happy with the cheap ones that they made, Rubies or whoever made those. I don't really need them, but it's not targeting me, obviously, at all. It's targeting the people that are trying to do this cosplay and hardcore cosplayers and stuff, and I'm sure they're going to love this. And I'm pretty sure it's going to fun, because you got the backpack, now you need these, and you're going to be a real Ghostbuster. So there it goes. I'm sure there's a whole lot more to it, about it, than I know. I didn't watch the whole presentation, but it's the next HasLab. This was the Marvel offering at the 1027, and you get 2 more Spider-Mans, or Spider-Men, and you've got a Jack-o'-lantern with the pumpkin head. I guess it's perfect timing for Jack-o'-lantern. Well, it would be perfect timing if you could get it before Halloween. I doubt you're getting this before Halloween. So there you go. You're not going to have it by Tuesday. Well, maybe you will. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But it does look pretty cool, pretty interesting. For me, though, wasn't tempting for me to buy any of this stuff. But that Jack-o'-lantern sold out. So I think I covered all the other news. Now we're down to Star Wars. So there was a little bit of Star Wars news this week, and nothing really excited me. But I saw this in a Walmart, and if you look at the left one, it's missing whatever in the lower part of the midsection. Whatever that piece is missing. I shook the box. It wasn't even in there. I couldn't hear it rattling around. But Chopper, I think Chopper's a cool figure. I have the other iteration. I have no need to buy this. But I'm just pointing out, when you have the plastic, you can see these kind of issues before you buy it. All right, so what do we got going on? We've got Black Series Darth Vader, we have Starkiller, and we have a Mandalorian, and the R46DO. So all of this, in one way, shape, or form are just reissues. I probably will get the droid. I will definitely get a Star Killer by himself. Way better than having to spend $110 plus tax. And if you don't have premium shipping, then that's what I expected. And I'm glad we're getting the opportunity to get this figure by himself for, you know, only 28 bucks. Still pretty cool that they're putting that out. The Vader is A New Hope, or the first Star Wars version of Vader. And with that, yeah, this is okay. And then we have for this is Black Series has Vizsla and Mace and the 187th clone, and then a Vintage Collection Cassian Andor. And I'm really not going to bother with a whole bunch of pictures on this. Just, I don't see the need for all of this. The purple clone is cool. From what everyone's saying, they're excited about it. I don't really do the clones so much. I get a couple of them here and there, but I'm definitely not a completist on all the clones. And then Cassian Andor, I'm not a fan at all. Some people are. I think we've gotten 2 or 3 chances at Mace Windu, and we had the ones that actually were supposed to be like cartoonish looking too, although they didn't really look that cartoonish. And so that's kind of cool. But getting past Vizsla again, I think I got one of those on clearance for $9 back in the day. I don't know why we would need it again, and they keep putting figures out that were clearance to $9, and they put them out again, and they think they're going to sell. I don't know why. I'm baffled. Oh, their sales are down. They're expecting down sales because they just keep putting the same figures out again. Speaking of putting the same figures out over and over and over, that's what Playmates does, but they're putting this Turtle Van back out again. This time it's going to be $39.99 instead of $34.99. So it was $35 before, went on clearance for $25, but now it's going to be back again for $40. I don't know. You can't write this stuff. I guess they have some sort of data that at least 80% of them will sell or something along those lines. But I just think it's odd that 2 years later we're getting it again, the same item that's out on clearance. Anyway, let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I missed? I hope everybody has a great and safe holiday week. Like, subscribe, Tidy Arm Hanger out.